Welcome, welcome, welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I am the Liberal 12th Man just as much as you are the Liberal 12th Man. I am happy to be here. Definitely a little bit in a little pain, but that's for other reasons. All the same, I'm here because definitely this is my joy, and I appreciate you guys joining me. Whether you're watching on the replay or whether you're watching us live, it's always a pleasure to be in your company. So we have the Irishman with us today. How are you doing, Brian?
Glad to be here. Doing well. Hope everyone is good. Everyone in the chat and everyone watching on replay.
Yeah. Oh man. So bunch of stuff that's going to be going on for tomorrow. We're going to give a little bit more of a announcement or a little bit more of a description of what that is when everyone's fully in there. It's got their trays in an upright position, and we're already taking off for takeoff, and we're at a good cruising altitude. But for now, we're just going to bring in a couple of different little pieces that kind of intrigued me, I guess you could say, on this little Wednesday walk. As you could tell, kind of interesting. I noticed yesterday, everyone's transition. Like we talked about it on, it was Monday that we spoke on it. We were talking and we were saying how, maybe we'll do this show. Maybe we'll do the, buy, sell, loan, extend, whatever it was, show for Thursday. And then we said, no, we'll do it tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, like, I saw on YouTube, there's like 5 or 6 different shows doing the buy, sell, or keep concept. So it was very cool that we at least were one of the first to really get that idea out there. So what were you happy with the team that you had yesterday, by the way? That you ended up with?
Our transfer, Ends, how's it going, man? Ends, big up. I didn't, like I said, I didn't get in at the start, so I missed a few of I missed probably 10 of the guys, but we only ended up selling 3.
Yes, which is surprising. That was surprising. I thought there was going to be a lot more on the chopping block, basically.
Yeah,
and the fact that there's only 3 was very surprising. I know you arrived to the meeting late. I know you had other obligations, but I mean, but go ahead.
Yeah, the guys we ended up with, I thought really, we lost Canade and we brought in Bastone, which I thought was good.
Right.
That cost us a little bit in the wage department, and yeah, it was a big wedge, but we had it. We had the money. Then we upgraded Simicas with a Grimaldo, which is, I know, not an FSG purchase, but this was our game. Right. So that's a big upgrade.
Right.
And we upgraded Nunez with Victor Osimhen.
Yeah.
And we had a little bit of change in the bank. Well, depending. Excuse me.
Little
yeah, I thought it was a better looking team. Yeah, like it was a great looking defense.
Yeah.
We didn't, but maybe if we'd been in a bit earlier, there might have been one or maybe one more sale or something. But Bastone and Grimaldo and Osimhen, I think, 3 excellent additions to the squad, and without massively weakening it. Canate, Simicas, Nunez for Bastone, Grimaldo, and Osimhen. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely a nice little upgrade. Even when we switched it around a little bit to go to the 4-2-3-1, you could still see that this team really works the way that with the components that we had. It really was like something of a cool little concept of having some of the players play in different roles that you're usually familiar to seeing them in.
Yeah, it was nice to play around and see, because we won't be far off, I don't think, in terms of maybe not necessarily the players that go, but in the positions that we will make some upgrade. I think everybody and their dog knows we're looking at a centre half, even if we didn't lose a Canadi, which we almost certainly won't.
Right. So
but,
I know. I got a lot of
looking at one
in the. I got not a lot, but I got some pushback in in the comment section about the comment about Kanate, and I was like, first off, I didn't even get the pick yet, so that wasn't. Those were the Mighty Red Army, my fellow Mighty Reds Army's picks there. But all the same, I understand. I co-sign on these things. So considering I was one of the first to like really initiate that call for Kanate to be maybe one of the people that ends up exiting his team. But all the same, yeah, it was very interesting to see us losing, obviously Matip going out, but also losing Kanate as a choice was very interesting.
Yeah, and it was a landslide for Nunes. It was I don't remember how many people. I'm assuming it was pretty strong for Simicast as well.
Yeah. What was interesting is that Robbo stayed, Simicast went, and that's what I was like. Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, Nunes never stood a chance. I got here at Jones. I think we were at Jones when I joined. But
I thought you only showed up just because Nunes hadn't gone yet.
Oh, I was determined. I was ringing StreamYard. I was threatening to sue StreamYard. I was threatening to take over StreamYard. I was threatening to show up at StreamYard. Yeah,
big up Redbird.
Buggy Link.
Yup. Big up to Cedric. Big up to Drunk Vigo. Big up to Ensman TV. Of course, if you haven't done your duty by check out Ensman TV, but I'm sure you have. Big up to Realism Jarrett in the house, Redbird, like I said earlier. It was a fun little journey to say the least. Very very fun little journey to say the least, to see how and what everyone was feeling when it came to a lot of the players that we've come to beloved on this team. It's certainly going to be. It's going to be interesting when that real day of reckoning comes, and it is coming very soon. It is coming very, very soon for a lot of these players, which is kind of wild and weird. But we're going to be seeing some change come, and it's going to be. I wonder how the fan base is going to take it when we do see.
I think we're going to have a situation where there will be. How can I put this? The manager will come in and talk to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he'll come in, he'll have a big team meeting or a big group meeting. And then, of course, there will be the captain. There'll be Virgil. There'll be individual meetings. But there'll be a couple of other guys where there'll be individual meetings, if you get what I mean. Because there'll be a couple of other guys that will need to go and speak to this new manager on their own. Mm-hmm. As opposed to, the guys that know they just need to come in, see you train in the morning, boys. Nice to meet you. My name's Arnie. We're going to work hard and win stuff. See you in the morning for training. Oh, and by the way, you and you, I'll have meetings with you on your own.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying? A couple of them will want to know what their futures are. A couple of them, it'll be the standard. Meet the captain, meet the vice captain. So Virgil, Trent, but Virgil also has his contract situation. He also has the Trent situation. They'll be all sitting down and just said, yeah, look, we're all going to get together, and no doubt, they'll be having their separate contract type meetings, but they'll all be sitting down as well. I think a few of them he'll want us to take to one side individually and say, look, this is the vision, this is the future. This is, but also there'll be a couple of guys where they'll want to know what their future is at the club. They'll want to know, what the story is. Do I need to, so there'll be a couple, right. And I'd say there's probably 3 of those guys who won't be entirely sure what their future is.
Yeah.
And, I'd have Simicast would be one of those guys that I would have had in that, but, and like Darryl is saying there, I know I've been trying to explain this to people. He's not the manager, Darryl. That's what I've been trying to explain to people. But yeah, they will have their contract negotiations, but that'll be different. That'll be separate. But what I'm trying to get at is that there's a couple of guys that he'll want to have a little chat to, whether it's like, don't worry. You're here for the long run. Where there's a couple of guys.
Coop Miners is going to be the first signing. I know he says there's a load of talk about him right now. And
There'll
I'm not
always be
disputing
talk.
the fact that he could be an addition, he could be definitely an addition. I'm just saying that
No,
I'm not
no.
necessarily like a big um I'm not exactly super intrigued with his talents per se, but I mean, hey, I could be proven wrong, and if and once and if he does become a Red, of course I'm going to support him. That's
Big up
done and
Rasta.
done. You know how it is. Look at the streets popping in. Definitely streets popping in. What's up, Red?
The
What's up,
streets,
Rasta Crab?
the streets never relent. The streets are
No, the
always here.
streets are always here. They are always here. Big up to Philip as well. Big up, and big up to Daryl. Obviously, um,
Yeah.
there's there's something, and this is there's something right before I'll bring your comment up, Redbird. But there
Yeah, and
is
I
something.
saw that stream actually, Redbird. The question he's asking, I was watching you on that. I was watching that stream that you were commenting on. I totally agree with what you said. I won't bring. I
Let's just go
you're,
into it
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Go explain to me what it was, because I'll bring up the
Well,
comment here.
basically, Redbird was in the comments or in the chat on someone else's stream there earlier
Mm-hmm.
on. He just basically said, how long did it take Klopp to win a trophy? Why are we not going to give Slot the same amount of time as we gave Klopp? Because the vibe was generally like, I don't want this guy. I don't care. He's not good enough. He's never going to win anything.
Mm-hmm.
So Redbird was basically asking and it was pointed out, and it is fair enough that the team that he's taken over is in much better shape than the team that Klopp took over.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be denied. But they'd finished 10th, I think, season before with Brendan.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was looking even worse. But say you take, but you still got to give the guy time. They still got to give the guy time. Like we gave a guy in Klopp time because we trusted him before he came in the door because of what he had done before, But
Mm-hmm.
we don't. This guy doesn't have that, so we have to have a different kind of trust. We
Mm-hmm.
have to have trust in the people that are making these decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be easy to push back and say, oh, well, Klopp took over a much worse team. Arne Slot should be able to win from day one. Well, what if he does? What if he goes and wins a League Cup next season, which is what Klopp has won this year? Will that be? I bet you that won't be enough.
No.
That won't be enough for people.
No.
And that's all Klopp got this year with all the money he had spent in the summer.
Yeah.
So I think we can all say, I'm not going to waste my time asking people who have no intention of giving him time to give him time.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, because I know I already know who they are, and I already know that they put their flag in the sand, and they just want. I'm going to come out and say it. They want him to be awful. They want him to fail. They want him to be really bad,
Mm-hmm.
like lose games really bad,
Mm-hmm.
and us in 11th, so we can sack him and get rid of him. That's genuinely, I guarantee you, that is what these
I don't
people want.
understand that. I don't understand that mentality, to be honest with you. That there's like so many different layers to that, but I honestly do not understand the mentality that people would rather, because I've had it pressed upon me, for instance, like as in people would rather see, like, let's say if I say, oh, we're gonna do well, or or I think we could achieve this or that. They rather than look at it objectively, they just focus on the fact of they want to prove you wrong so that they can be right, and then they'll root against their own interest just so that they can be right and you can be wrong. It's like one of those things where, like, what are we doing here? Like,
I told you, being a football fan on the internet, being a football fan is 90% about winning arguments, not supporting your football team. It's just about winning arguments, even if it's just friendly debates.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's mostly this is usually what all of this is, really. It's someone will say something, someone else will say something else, and then you'll talk about it. It can descend into an argument or a fight, or it can be a jokey conversation, but it's usually a back and forth of some description, or an argument. So for a lot of people that just are basically sort of 14 years old in their head, they just want to win arguments.
Yeah.
That's all. Like the team winning the game can be secondary as long as they get proven right, because that's kind of all they care about is going back on a stream the next day and someone going, ha ha ha, you were wrong. Nunes isn't shit. He scored 4 goals and we won the European Cup. They'd rather he was like crap and missed 4 penalties. Like it's a strange world, but you gotta learn to spot these people and just avoid them. Go around.
Yeah. Realism Jared says, question, did you guys know that Pep managed Barca B, who were in the Spanish 4th tier for one season, excuse me, and then he got the Barca first team job because people could see he was doing something that they believed in?
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons. There's a lot more reasons than people want to acknowledge as to why, and this is just me being honest, as to why Slot was even a better choice than Amarin, who was very, very high coveted. I understand that people had once we figured out that we weren't going to possibly be getting Alonso, that we moved on, that a lot of people moved on mentally into this concept of, oh, well, Amarin's the next best choice. We need to go to Amarin, But yeah, Amarin played a different system. So it was more of a fit to bring this coach in than it was Amarin. And I think people just didn't want to accept that. So now they're stuck in this concept of, well, I didn't get the present that I wanted. So despite the fact that this is probably a better present for me and my interest, I'm still going to, complain.
But why can't they both be brilliant?
Yeah.
Why can't they both would have been brilliant choices? Why can't everyone just say that? Why can't everyone go?
Saying.
Yeah. Why does it have to be a fight and an argument between? Oh no, are you Slot? Oh, that means you don't want Amarin. Oh, you're Amarin. That means you don't want Slot. It's like, can we not just say they could both possibly have been brilliant? Who knows? We never know.
But I'm just saying that one was a little bit better of a fit.
Oh no, I'm not arguing it, but I'm just saying, for people arguing, why does it have to be a fight? Like two guys who've never managed this. Why can't we just say, hey, there are two great managers out there. We got one of them. It's kind of like it's a fight we don't need to be having. Like you said, as soon as it wasn't Alonso, people were like this. But the one that's really, really pissing me off is where some really small-minded people who think they're so clever, narrow-minded, not small-minded. They probably are also small-minded, but they're saying, "Oh, well, I just looked at it and I've just seen it. Oh, busted. He plays the same as Klopp does. He plays the same football as Klopp, right? Okay, and it's like, well, we're really bad right now for the last month.
Oh wow!
Like, forget the last 10 years.
Okay,
so we're going to be crap.
Okay, you're like,
so we're going to be crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's where you just
we're
go.
going to be crap. Yeah, shut up. Come on.
That's silly talk.
Yeah. So he plays the same.
You just lost your. Yeah, you just. Someone's got to grab the conch from that person.
Yeah. So it's Edwards just wants a yes man to play the same football as Klopp did, which means we're going to be terrible again because that's what Edwards wants, or that's what FSG want, or we're going to be. It's just please, come on, guys. He plays really, really good football, but he doesn't play Klopp football. He plays some. A type of football and parts of it are like
Klopp football.
Yeah, it's not he's going to come in and just go.
That are similar, but they're not. It's
come
not
on,
like.
Though.
Yeah,
come on. Even if he did, it would still be a different manager. And it's like, we got you. You're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just seriously, these people.
Ripper's comment is been true too. He says, "Let's be honest. Not many heard of Amarin before his name was mentioned. Yet act like they know everything about him and acting like he would have been the Messiah if he joined Liverpool." I agree on that.
Exactly. I mean,
I do have a question. I do have a question though, and this is like a slight transition since we were speaking on the fact of how people are talking about. Well, what happens? Is he going to be allowed to run his style? Is he going to be allowed to if he wins something? Is he going to be given a lot more leeway or something like that? Concept blah 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 blah. This was just brought up, and apparently Liverpool are set to scrap plans for an end of season parade. Jurgen Klopp insisted he didn't want any event to be about him, and given a parade for winning the League Cup would be somewhat unusual, I guess you could say is the word for it. The club is not looking to proceed with having a parade. Do you think that that's the right? And this is primarily for the chat, because especially for some of our scousers in the chat as well that are going to have the privilege of being able to possibly go to that parade if they were to have one. Are you disappointed? Are you wanting a parade? Or you think it's warranted or like it's a valued necessity that should be happening? Or do you agree that maybe we shouldn't have a parade for just the League Cup and obviously more so the emphasis on Klopp's exit from this era of this Klopp era?
Well, that's a lot of questions. I'm not a parade guy personally, so if ask like the chat and the people, like I'm not, if I'm not wrong, like they used to just do like they just used to do a tour around the city.
Mm-hmm.
I know they definitely did. If they just won an FA Cup, they did one. I don't know if they did one every year. I thought they used to kind of do one as a kind of a small, like whether you won or not. I'm not sure, but like nowadays you can't really do anything like that without, if you don't have a big trophy, you get criticized for having a parade. It's like, what are you having a parade for? You didn't win everything. So it is a bit strange. Like, and Klopp is probably right about not wanting. If he doesn't want it, if he thinks it's all going to be about him, he doesn't want it all to be about him. Okay, fair enough. And I don't think we would do one just these days, just as a trophy parade for like that's what I mean, like a trophy parade. So if they just did like an end of season parade, regardless, I don't know. I think they used to. I'm not sure. Someone can correct me on that. But if they don't want to do it, I don't think. Yeah, I think back in the day, back in the 80s and stuff, those things were more popular and they were bigger, But these days, they just get so much trolling and criticism if you don't have a European Cup at the front of the bus. So, I don't know, actually. I don't know. I'd be kind of, that'd be more for the people who would go and would have enjoyed it. Like, would they want one? Because, like I said, I'm not, it's just a bus driving around to me,
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's somewhat though the concept in a fan's mind that you got that one last chance to show your appreciation for
Oh no, Redbird is saying okay, yeah, they only did it if they we see we always used to win pretty much every year. We probably would have had one of them. So it seemed like we were having them all the time. So if we were only doing it, then I don't think just for the League Cup these days. Probably not so. If it was
maybe like, could it be also maybe that you have it at maybe you have an event at like a bigger forum where more people can at least go, and you wouldn't have to have like a ticketed event in a sense. I mean, like it's bad enough that you wouldn't want to have to charge people to say, oh, your goodbyes. This way you get a free and opportune concept of saying, oh, well, maybe you're not fortunate enough to be able to afford, much less have the opportunity to purchase a ticket to go to the game to see him against the Wolves game. I'm certain that those tickets are probably astronomical figures as is. So maybe like you have it at some place in some public place where everyone that wants to have a fond goodbye, they could actually say their goodbyes to him. In essence,
you'd have to ask some of the boys. I know it's over there.
Yeah, we need to ask Frank or something like that for that one. Maybe.
There's always permissions.
Maybe Daryl knows too. I know Daryl's in the chat.
Yeah, there's always like council permissions and yada yada, all that stuff. Yeah, you could easily.
The
easiest thing to do would be to have a.
It's very costly. It is all very costly.
Yeah, but the easiest thing to do would be just have a a free event is your suggestion, and you just put it on at Anfield and just make
Mhm.
it free. Like you have to book a ticket, for numbers wise, but it's free. Like,
Mhm.
but so you can't just not like 100,000 people show up or something. You
Yeah,
just
right, right,
you
right,
know,
right.
but just make it
Maybe
free
make it like
entry.
a maybe make it like a
They've done
like
things like that in the past before.
a free ticket
Liverpool,
lottery or something like that, where you
yeah,
had to you send you get on the internet, you put your email address, and it's like the Willy Wonka thing, you
yeah,
get your golden
exactly.
ticket, you
Yeah,
know.
I think they have definitely done events in the past. Like Liverpool have always been very, and especially they do like to pay whatever, not respect. He's not dead, but pay him his shoes before he goes. But if the man has come out and said, "I don't want a big thing about me,"
Yeah, you can't force
then
him.
yeah. So
Right.
he can you imagine the let's say second game of the season next year, we're at home to Arsenal, and Jurgen appears in the stand. Like, is that good or bad? He probably say, "Look, I'm going to stay away and give this guy some breathing space."
Oh, I would think so. I would think so. I would
So it
hope
could be a while. What
so.
I'm saying is, it could be a while before you see him
Because
back
then
at
that
Anfield.
would only start speculation as to is he coming back.
Exactly. So, like, I'd say that's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be nice to have a good bye, because it could be a while before you see him back, kind of openly at Anfield.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
he would know, give that guy some. I don't want to show up and have my blood. I like if Jurgen Klopp is, he wouldn't want bloody whoever Bob Shankly sitting behind him looking at him going, "Oh, you sure you want to do that?" This kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, he'll go. He'll probably have a nice party with his with the team and all that, but he'll probably keep it pretty low key and come back in a year's time, and but yeah,
Oh, that's really cool. Look at that. I'm sorry. Redbird. Did you see this Redbird comment?
yeah, that's cool. He was
It's
the
super
most
cool. Sir
humble.
Bob
Yeah,
Paisley had a few private parties when he retired. Redbird was lucky enough to go to one. He was the most humble person he's ever had the pleasure to meet. That's really really cool.
yeah.
Really
Those
really cool.
boys and those boys back in the day, they like Fagan, Paisley, obviously Shankly was a bit more far, but they had real class. They none of this. I know it was a different time. Like today, they
Mhm.
might be a bit different, but they had real class. Real quiet kind of people. But
Mhm.
behind closed doors, they knew what to do. Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore. But you're lucky, man. You're lucky to be with
Right.
those people, because talk about now, those are the stories. But
Yeah, those are memories. That's all that's what this is about. Life is about memories that you keep and make that you make
well,
and have the ability to keep
look,
and
while we're
and
on the
possibly even
subject,
share.
while we're
Yeah.
on the subject of Liverpool memories, tomorrow night.
Yes. Do you go ahead? Go ahead.
No,
I'll
no,
give
you
you
go
the
ahead. You
pleasure.
you tell the guys. No, you tell the guys. You tell the guys.
Well, we put up the thumbnail for tomorrow. Um, and speaking of like legends and Reds legends and such, tomorrow we're going to be doing a watch along, but it's a unique watch along in the essence that it's going to be a throwback watch along. We're starting this series that we're going to bring that I haven't really seen anyone do any of these concepts, and it was like this is a concept, an idea that Brian brought up, and so um, when he initially brought it up, I was like, that's a really really cool idea. So we figured like, hey, let's share it with the brethren here and see how they enjoy it, because there's a lot of games out there that some of us were able to watch because we were maybe
Old
fortunate
enough to
enough, yeah,
watch.
old enough, let's say it
Let's
that
bring it.
way.
We're old enough
Yeah,
to
okay.
watch.
Maybe even alive for
Yes.
right? But there are some games that we weren't able to, or maybe we weren't as able because of because we weren't able to, just period. So all the same, I was thinking like, what's a great way to kind of, bring about like a little bit of the history of the team, bring about the concept of just enjoying some of the memories. We're talking about memories and talking about some of the concepts of those memories, bringing about special feelings. And we're going to be doing a throwback watch along tomorrow. So we're going to be doing a really, really cool game. We figured that if we're going to start off if we're going to be able to start off this series, we might as well start off big, go big or go home. So we decided to say, well, let's pick a game that's against one of our fiercest and most and biggest rivals. And that's the reason why we brought out those dreaded Red Devils for this one. So yeah, it's going to be a very cool concept. And I'm hoping that you guys join us for tomorrow. You will get to watch some of these really, really great players play in a game where, some of the games, again, let me say this now. Some of the games are going to be wins. Some of the games are going to be draws. Some of the games are going to be losses. We're all the same. It's about the memories and experiences and the fact that regardless of whether we won, lost, or drew, we always love the fact that our teams gave their best on the pitch and represented the badge to the fullest. And that's why we support them. And that's why those games mean something, regardless of the outcome. It helps when we win, but regardless of the outcome, we always enjoy the fact that they represent us and they do it to the best of their abilities. So tomorrow we're going to have a throwback watch along. We're going to get the DeLorean out and go back to the future. Or back to the past, I guess you could say, in a sense.
Yeah, literally back to the past. It's 0102.
Yep.
It's over 20 years ago. So we all talk about these guys. We all talk about the Owens, Gerrards back in the day, Alonso, Heskey, Fowler. So, look, some people haven't seen these guys play 90 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They can remember and talk when they've seen the highlights reels, but we're going to pick out a few good ones so we can look back and just remember that. Also, this is Liverpool Football Club, and we have had some wonderful, wonderful players, really top players. So let's not just talk about them. If we can get away with this, we're not breaking any copyright laws, hopefully. But we will now bear in mind, these aren't pristine. This is the old style stuff. So we, we just want to hope out, people enjoy watching some of these guys, not just for a couple of minutes, and remember the managers that we had, the players that we had. So put a bit more, not much faces to the name, but we forget, again, like someone like Emil Heskey, who I watched a lot of today. Incredibly creative player. Robbie Fowler is an incredibly creative player. We remember the goals, but these guys were brilliant creative players. Owen was incredibly creative. And these are up against the likes of Beckham and, the Van Nistelrooys and all these legends. They're all out there. So brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It should be great
and
fun.
What's going to be unique is that it's going to be like an actual, like it's almost like we're not almost like it is, but it'll feel like that you got in the DeLorean and you went back in time, and you're gonna see these players on the tube here, but you're also going to have to recognize that you're going to hear some broadcasters that that you might not have had the privilege of hearing before. There's going to be it's going to be a lot of fun. Actually, I'm really excited for this to kick off and for us to do these throwback Thursdays that we're going to start to really bring into the fold. And and it's an opportunity again for those of us that sometimes when we're talking to some of the younger Reds, or even sometimes the older Reds, you sometimes talking to there's sometimes a misconnection to the bridge between them, and this might be an opportunity to create a bridge, to make them understand the concepts of why this team, why you believe in the comebacks, or why you believe in the fight in this team, and how it's a part of the inner fabric of this club. So that's why I think that it's really going to be a cool concept, and I hope that we not only that you not only join us, that you tell a lot of people to come and join in the fun with us.
Hang on, I'll get my book out there.
What Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. And you know what, too, as well, in the games, like always, like there are going to be some games that there's going to be games that maybe you have a preference for, or you have something that you're like, oh, I love this game. Can you please show this game, or let's watch this game together? Put that in the comments. Please do. Like, put that in the comments for the Throwback Thursday, or the Back to the Watch Along is what we're calling it. So yeah, just put that in there. We'll see if we have if we can get the the approval to replay some of those games. Not every game we don't have access to every game, by the way, but we do have access to a good bit of games.
Yeah.
And and it'll be fun. Yeah, it'll definitely be fun. And yeah, sure. We have a Daryl, we have a trivia. We're still working on the trivia fest that we're going to bring in too. By the way, we are definitely working on that as well. That's another big event that we're looking to do, like basically to be like the trivia meister or the trivia champion of the month type concept.
Well, we're looking for people that the only thing we're missing is contestants. So
right.
Daryl, if you want to be a contestant on a quiz and represent, you can nominate a channel to represent, because we want to do it in terms of people representing channels, or they can be independent contractors, as it were. But yeah, you can do that if you want to represent someone. So I'll have to try and give you one. So I hope won't come up. Okay, so Daryl. Okay, I'll ask you, Daryl. This is one. Other than, I know he has a golden boot, right? But other than a golden boot, what World Cup record does Miroslav Klose hold? It's not the golden boot. He has a golden boot, but forget that. Other than that, what World Cup record does Miroslav Klose hold? That should be handy enough. But anyway, we can move on.
Yeah, okay. Should I do I have to bring up do I have to hum the Jeopardy theme music, I guess, or something? Or
no. I'm sure Daryl will think of it very quick. No, he can come in at any time. It's just out there. That's just out there.
Yeah.
That's just your one for the night.
Right. And as I said in the chat, by the way, people, Stevie G will be in the first watch along. It is his era that we're going to be the first game that we're going to bring in for Stevie G.
Yeah, it's not the golden boot. He has another record. Pops. It's besides the golden boot, what individual record does he have that only he has? Miroslav Klose.
Oh wait, and as you guys try to figure that one out, there is someone that is now on apparently the radar. And again, I know we're not most likely going to give up on Konate. I know that most likely, he will be a someone that we continue to develop and probably utilize. But the sheer fact that for a lot of us, I don't know if center back was our primary first priority position.
Was for me 100%. Yeah, for me, especially
some
with
people had the
bleeding.
DM, Brian. Some people had the DM. I'm just saying. Some people had DM. Some people have striker still. Some have had right wing as being the concern, as being possibly the number one concern, especially if we're going to lose someone like a Salah, But apparently, Liverpool could make a move for a certain Frankfurt center back, and that is a William Pacho. Apparently, they're looking at a fee of about 50 to 60 million euros. The aim would be to loan him back to Frankfurt for one more season to continue his development.
Sorry,
I don't know. Sorry. I don't understand why I don't understand why Edwards goes for these kinds of deals. You're on mute, Brian, by the way, just in case you didn't know. But yeah. Anyone picked up any, and also the close thing? I'm looking to see if anyone has an answer on the close. But yeah, so Pacho is a 22-year-old. He's from Ecuador. He's obviously a defender, highly rated as among the upcoming youth in the Bundesliga, especially.
Holy hell! I have my headphones in, and I didn't know if someone rings the Ring doorbell, it comes on in your goddamn headphones.
Oh, so, okay, I got you.
Oh, wow, that was loud. And it was just, you know what it was? It was just bloody. It's like it's election time. So all they do is they ring on your doorbell, right? And you open the door and they just hand you their little piece of paper going, vote for me. It's like, put it in the fucking letterbox, you asshole.
Yeah.
What are you ringing my God.
Yeah. Here they don't during election time, they just beat you over the head with emails and robocalls. That's all they do for here in America.
Yeah,
they very rarely come door to
door. Yeah, they get shot, man. That guy would have gone. Christ. What am I hitting my head against the wall after what? What did I miss?
After hearing the noise, the sound.
Right. No, it's cool. I thought you said something crazy. We're buying someone. Who's this Willy Pancho? Is it that guy?
Yes.
Right. That's a brilliant name. That's a brilliant name.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a great name. But we're loaning them back. No, I don't like. No, when you say to me, it's like, right, what do we need? It's okay. It's center half, yes, and a DM, and it's 50. But if you said to me, look, we can only buy one player, I'm going, right. Okay, get me a top quality center half, and we'll do something in midfield, because with Matip leaving and the Canadiness, for me, it's just, if I had to pick one position and you force my hand, I would go center half first. But I'm fully aware of the fact that we need someone who's as good as what Endo is, or what he's doing, but is probably 8 years younger than Endo and can be a bit more future proofed, or But yeah, I can understand people going there for a striker first if they want to do that. No, it's another. I'll Pops. You want more time, or will I give it?
Yeah, because Daryl says
Daryl gave up.
Daryl gave up. Big up Trigger TV, by the way. Also, Trigger, I looked for I was trying to follow you back, or at least follow your channel, and I couldn't find it. Like, maybe it's because I'm in America, and when you put Trigger, a whole bunch of other different things pop up. But like,
yeah.
But yeah, if you're on Twitter, Trigger, please do follow me there, and so we can exchange info, and I'd be sure that so I could follow your channel and connect with you. Definitely a cool guy, by the way, guys. He's really cool. I enjoyed this the dialogue the discourse that we had between us.
Maybe.
maybe we'll ask him. I don't know about what the record was.
I'm just waiting for Pops to ask me, does he want the answer, or does he want more time? Because Pops is having a go. But I'm glad that's stumping people.
Right. I mean, so wait, ask the question one more time for everyone.
Miroslav Klose holds which individual record at a World Cup final? So he's deep. What individual record does he hold in World Cup finals? He has a golden boot. We know that. It's not that. That's lots of people have a golden boot. So it's an individual record. So he has done whatever. But there's only one person that's done this. So does anyone? I'll tell like it's an which individual record. He has an individual record. No, I'll give it
And
to you.
it's not. And it's not.
No, I'll give it to you.
No.
He has scored. He's scored the most
He's a
headed
silver boot.
goals at an individual tournament. So just to say it again, at a single tournament, he has scored the most headed goals. He scored 5 headers.
Oh, the headers. I thought
in
yeah,
2002.
Actually, I did know that answer, but
yeah. So just to read it, just because people I know they'll ask me again, so I'm going to say it again.
That is the
he
truth.
Scored 5 headed goals in 2002. It's 2002 Japan South Korea World Cup. He scored 5 headed goals. Nobody has ever scored 5 or more headers at a single World Cup. So that's the record. 5 headers at a single World Cup. Headed goals.
Yeah, I actually did. I should have guessed that myself. I did know that because that's pretty much a good majority of the goals he scored in that World Cup were, as you said, headers.
I think he had 7 in total. 5 of them were headers in 2002.
Yeah.
But like Just Fontaine has the most goals at a World Cup with 12. Okay, so that's the most goals, but he didn't score 5 headers. So
right,
I brought it up when we were when I picked him as the guy who's heading ability.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons why. Yeah, that's the reason why when we were making the perfect or we were doing our Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's why I thought 1 or 2 people in the chat might have remembered.
Yeah, I should have guessed it. So I remember you bringing that part up.
Yeah,
bringing that question up. Yeah.
Well, you know, me, Pops. You saw my quizzes on the day trippers. You know, I come up with good ones. So
there's I have a question for it's not a trivia question, by the way. This is just a question. Since this is something that's apparently it's trending on Twitter right at the moment, or was at least when I saw it. Out of our current players that are either turning or are 30, who is the most likely that you would try to? Who's the most likely that you would trade or transfer, and who's the most likely that you would want to keep out of the players that are 30 or above? Who is the most likely you'd want to keep, and who's the most likely you want to put on the market? Excuse me. That's the question.
We covered a lot of it last night, really, didn't we?
What's that?
We covered a lot of it last night.
Yeah.
So you'd be talking Verge, Mo, Robbo, Ali. Ali must be nearly there.
Let me pull up the list up here actually. So
Ali must be nearly there.
Endo obviously is in that. Endo's.
Oh well, yeah, Endo.
Let's see, find it.
Logic.
So you would have to keep, and you'd have to sell one. They're
doing that thing, are they?
Yeah, you have to keep one and sell one. Out of our 30-year-olds,
yeah,
the 30 plus year olds on our team, who's your top priority to keep? Who would be your top priority to sell?
That's easy. That'd be Virgil top, and then Robbo bottom, because it'd be I mean, like Virgil. Yeah, that's the thing, because otherwise you're getting rid of Virgil or Salah. So I'm sorry, Robbo. It's you're just kind of collateral damage there, really, in that one, I suppose. But
I mean, some people could go for Salah to get the biggest return. I mean, probably your biggest financial return would be from selling Salah as opposed to selling Robbo.
Yeah, that's the way I'd run it. Anyway, how did it go on Twitter? What was the kind of overall? Was it a vote? Like, what was the overall?
No, Robbo was Robbo was the victim.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't. Considering it's Twitter, I'm surprised it wasn't Mo.
Yeah, yeah. Virgil was the hands-on favorite for keeping out of our 30-year-olds, and Robbo was the candidate to go. It's kind of interesting.
Interesting question, Jared. I'm assuming it's from a place of
I'll bring it up.
It ain't a football question, but it sounds quite personal. It sounds quite pointed.
Okay, I don't even know where that one goes. Yeah, that sounds like you. Has that happened to you?
I'm gonna give
That
that
sounds like a personal.
not cool. That's definitely not cool.
Definitely not cool. Definitely getting taken off my Christmas list for sure. For sure.
I mean, especially if it was a barbecue and they brought pork products, then that would be really taking the piss.
Bayesian Pops, I was surprised that it wasn't Endo, to be honest with you.
In the old tree, the list of tree there kind of thing.
Or not the list of in the list of who would you sell and who would you let go or sell and who would you keep? You wouldn't get that much for Endo, obviously, but
I reckon you'd almost lose money on him.
Because
you'd be
probably because some people think that we kind of overspent maybe for him considering his market value.
Well, I don't. Jamie, if Jamie said he's going back to Germany, then good sometime.
Yeah, then good for Jamie and his links because I have not heard that.
Don't know, real Jared. You can never overreact to swine flu. I'm pretty sure you can't. I mean, apart from going full roof Korean or anything. I mean, you don't. I mean, pretty much it's. Yeah,
I don't think that's an overreaction.
You don't mess with especially Is that still a thing? I suppose those things never go away, do they? They're all just kind of waiting to come back up.
Some of these looking at some of these Twitter concepts.
I mean, maybe look. You never say never in football. That's one thing. So that's you start every conversation with that. You never say never in football. Especially when it comes to a lower like Salah is not joining. We can say Salah is never joining Man City, never joining Arsenal, never that kind of stuff. You can say never. But you can't sit there and go, oh, Endo, no way would he ever leave this.
Okay.
Who freaking knows, man? Something crazy, you never ever know.
I see where I think he got this. I just came across the tweet. Anfield Edition wrote, "It would not be a surprise to see Wataru Endo leave Liverpool this summer and return to the Bundesliga after only one season at Anfield, because he's a Klopp guy and not a."
I was just going to say, anybody could write. It wouldn't be surprise. It wouldn't be a surprise. That's what I just said. Never say never. So that's a nothing quote.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
based on what? Based on a quote from such and such, or based on an interview with. It's like based on what?
I think
he's a perfect little squad guy. He's not on stupid money. He's obviously, I'd imagine, not in a hurry to end his Liverpool adventure. This idea that he's a Klopp guy, it's like, well, they're not lemmings. They're capable of playing for other managers. This is another thing. He can, he's a Klopp, this, that. It's like, it'll be a bit of a shock to the system, especially to the guys who were brought in maybe on a Klopp thing, if you know what I mean. Come and join the Klopp train, come and join the Jurgen party, and then, oh, by the way, I'm Klopp's leaving. But you're taking the stand for 4 years.
Yeah.
I can understand a bit of a friction there, maybe, or something like that. But all of these guys could, yeah. Look, I played under one of the greatest managers of all time. It's a shame he's leaving, but life is life. I can play football under any other manager.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
not any, man. Like some is going to be great, but it's not like they can't play and perform. And yeah, of course, they're not idiots. We're not idiots. Arne Slot isn't an idiot. He's not Jurgen Klopp. We get it. Nobody is Jurgen Klopp. But you also have to give these guys. We speak about Endo with his humility and his respect and his dedication and all that. He's going to give his respect to a new manager. Dominic Szoboszlai will do the same. Trent will do the same, and any player that isn't prepared to do the same, don't let the door hit you on the way up, because we need full buy-in from everybody now at the moment, because
Okay.
it's a bit rocky out there. The new manager comes in, like, we need everybody behind him. No nitpicking behind the scenes. Nobody that's not interested. No, if you want to go with Klopp, just let him know. Get in the taxi. Tell him not to leave without you. If you're that wedded to him, and you can only thrive under him.
Right. Right.
We don't need that, man. But I don't think there's anyone like that's what I'm saying. These guys can all do a job. They go away and they're brilliant for their national teams. Does Klopp coach them for national teams? No, of course he does. So
I would say, I'm going to ask a question here. And this is the question for the entire chat. What in your mind is a good season? What in your mind is an acceptable season for Slot and Liverpool next year? What is a good result? You can give me wins, or you can give me. I mean, obviously, we want to get top four. That concept is. I know we all want to go for. We want to win the league. We should always competing for the league. I understand that concept, But what is a good result? Like, what is a good result for you? What would you say Slot had a good year? Or what would make you say, you know what, Slot isn't that guy if he's in his first year? This is his first year under the helm. What would be the first? And then I have a follow-up question after that too. What would be yours, Brian?
that is a tough one, because to me, I'd say cup competitions are cup competitions. So you can get you can get knocked out of them. So I'm not going to say that winning a cup would be like it's got to be, unfortunately for him. I would say you've got to be top three, and if you don't get top three, it's got to be so obvious what you're doing. It's got to be so completely obvious that you have buy-in from the players. You're playing good football.
Right.
You're playing winning football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're doing. And a couple of little things didn't go your way. This, that, whatever. Whatever. But everyone can see that this guy has got something about him. We all like watching this. We play good football. We score goals. We're Liverpool. We're never going to be anything below a certain level. So to demand success, to demand that as a measure of his success is very difficult.
Mm.
But I think us as fans, to a degree, this might get some pushback, but like with the Tottenham fans earlier this season, with Ange Postecoglou, they're like, oh yeah, look, it's there's the odd result isn't brilliant, but we can see what this guy is doing. The football is top quality. It's great. We're loving it. That'll get you a long way. That will get you a very long way. And we have enough players, good players, that if we play good football, we play attacking football, we should be competent enough and we should be good enough to be in those top positions without necessarily having to be knocking on the door for a league, because Klopp has only won one league, as everyone wants to keep reminding us. So if he doesn't win a league in his first season at a new club with all the metric ton of pressure and media scrutiny and fan nonsense that's going to be on around very young man's shoulders in terms of the managerial game to say, oh, he didn't win a league. Well, he's out the door. I don't even want to address that kind of mentality. So it's got to be a guy that's taking a good team, playing really good football. It will be on the eye, you know, if we can see and go, this guy's a good manager, but he's got to be right up there though. He does have to say in that top 4 all year.
Yeah.
Up to second,
so
down to fourth, third, but always up in the run.
There can't be a late charge, or it can't be like, oh, he had top 4 and then he kind of.
I wouldn't like to be him if we had a bad 8 games while he's trying to introduce his new thing, and we lose 6 out of our first 10 or something, like, you know, which really shouldn't happen. But you know, I'm happy enough to give this guy's football a chance, because just our players with a decent coach, it's not that difficult to be up there challenging. So then it's taking the next step. But I think it'll be, for me, it's on the pitch. I won't care about results. People kill me for, oh, you don't care about results. It's just, for the first while, I just want to make sure that, look, football is about fun and enjoyment and watching the game. So no, and we're Liverpool. We're never a club that's had to resort to defensive coaches, you know, like Chelsea, or you know, maybe the Italian clubs are, but some of these clubs that, you know, they take a Mourinho on, or they do whatever or a Conte, to have to win, they have to go that way. No, we've never had to compromise that. We've always been attacking football. We lead the way in attacking football. We always have. So let's go back to that. Let's play top quality attacking football, goals, entertainment, and let the rest come after that, because that's the only way to bring the fans along. Because if you're not getting results, I've seen it with other players, other managers, that if they had been given time, they would have probably been a success, but they were playing poor football and they weren't getting results. Then you see managers play good football, don't get results. The managers playing good football get a lot more time. Because if it's no results and bad football, you're out real quick.
Oh, I get that. I was going to include these comments. So Redbird says, if he got top 4, he would say that's the good first season for Slot. Honesty says top 3 domestic cup and compete in the UCL and make us definitely more solid, more defensively, us defensively more solid. Good patterns, adapt when he needs. By the way, Flott is a very, very good coach when it comes to his teams. At least have been very, very good when it comes to defense. By the way, they're actually one of the best defensive in the top clubs in the world. They rank as one of the best clubs defensively in the world.
Yeah, but the Eredivisie is Farmers League, mate. It's Farmers League. It's full of amateurs, mate. Full of amateurs. Can't do anything in the Eredivisie. He's not as good as Ten Hag, and Ten Hag is shit. I've heard that all today.
Brian is trolling like a mug right now. Okay,
I've heard that all today, man. He's not as good as Ten Hag, and look, it's like, who told? Oh, Christ, you know.
Trigger TV. Yeah, I got you. Trigger TV says top 4 in a domestic trophy. Okay. Ponker says,
but I'm assuming everyone is in agreement with the good football thing, right? Surely everyone must be in agreement with the good football part as well. You know, if we see good attacking football and we see what he's trying to do, and we can say, oh, hang on a minute, if you give him a year, we're playing like this, give him a year of coaching like this.
Yeah.
That's, do you get what I'm saying? It says, oh, and if give this guy a year, if we're playing this kind of football now, you know, you win a game 5-0 and the next it's 3-3. That kind of, you say, okay, I can see what he's trying to do. Give him a go. Give him a year with some of his own players, and we'll be really good. That's all it's going to take for me. Literally, that's how cheap I am at the moment. Basically.
Yeah. Bonker says top 3 quarterfinal Champions League. Oh, okay.
Top 4 quarterfinal Champions League.
Top three, not top 4. Top 3.
Yeah.
So we got to be like either in the title race or at least top 3, and then also make it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Like
Here's
Pops is saying, like even
yeah,
like at our
what
worst,
are you
look
saying?
with the players we
The
have,
right
if we play
addition to
good
the front
football,
six. Compete.
almost by default, we'll be up there. If you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
just because of the players we have,
Well
like
then,
we'll be
yeah,
up there.
yeah. Well then, that's my follow-up question. Is this then of the players that are currently on our team? No, and I'm not talking about like any of the players that are rumored to be coming in or anything like that. Of the players that are currently on our team, what player do you think will get the most return from Slot being their coach?
I think Sabazlai. I've been saying that for a while, even before I knew it was Slot. I just thought he was going to be played in a different position, whoever the new manager was, and he would be played more attacking
Daryl
wise.
agrees with you.
So I thought he'd be kind of not unlocked. I didn't want to go down. Oh,
Mhm.
Klopp is wasting him or misusing him, but probably not using him in the most attacking places. So he was someone I thought would be, and the one I was most intrigued to see, like everybody else, is what he would do is the Trent question. What do you do with Trent? What's your plan for Trent? That's the other one I'm most intrigued to see is what he does there. So,
yeah, that's why I'm asking. I'm asking like who you think is going to have the biggest return from the addition of Slot as being our coach, and Pops also because Daryl already agreed with you that he believes Dom is, and in a sense, Pops agrees with you too. He says probably the boss, but who he's hoping for is that Nunez will get it, and or possibly even Fabio, who's going to be a returning player, from Hull. Should be very interesting as
yeah.
well. That's a good shout.
A lot of people are mentioning Fabio Carvalho over the last couple of weeks.
I think because it's a 4-2, because of the concept that we might be
Yeah,
utilizing 4-2-3-1,
yeah.
and that's something
It's
more in his wheelhouse to being,
oh yeah, exactly. It's because
yeah.
it's because everyone is seeing that coming in and then thinking, well, he's our boy. He's the one. I don't know. I'm not sure if these issues or whatever that stopped him making in the first place have gone away. So I wouldn't be hanging my hat on him. He's done very well. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we sold him for 20 million after the season he's had in the championship. He's been very good. He's been very impressive. So I'd be just as.
How much did we spend for him? Do you know?
That was a tribunal job. I think he ended up costing us around 7, I think.
Okay. I can check, but I'm just wondering if you knew off the top of your head.
No, it was it was definitely
Only because I was
job.
saying like that would definitely be a net gain if we were to sell him if we bought him for 7 and we sold him for 20. Sure.
Yeah, I can't. 8. Darrell saying it 8. Yeah, I know it was because it was the same as Harvey.
Yeah.
Same club.
Yeah.
Same process.
I just don't. I mean, like, yeah, Trigger saying 8 million too. Yeah. Sometimes with a player like that, do you? And again, I'll ask this to the chat too, and I'll ask you, Brian. Would you prefer to cash in and try to get a better player, or with a player like that, like a Harvey Elliott for like 8 million, like you said, 7-8 million, whatever it was, and like a player like Fab at 8 million that you're getting for him? Isn't it like for 8 million, you're not getting players really at those levels? We've all spoken about these players that we've missed out on at those prices, and yet we've seen those players later develop into megastars. Isn't it just more of if you have an 8 million pound player, just ride that ride that contract out, or see that contract out to see what you can get out of the player, rather than try to say, oh well, okay, let's sell them, double our money, and then go into the market and get possibly maybe someone on a higher threshold. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, when you buy a kid like that at a price like that, you are just taking a gamble. Like the clubs, I mean, as much as the child that these guys, some of 15, 16, they're getting,
Mhm.
might not want to hear it. Behind the scenes, you know what happens behind the scenes. They're saying, look, this kid is only X amount. If
Mhm.
he stays fit and he stays healthy and he turns into something excellent, we've got a star, not a superstar. We've got a player.
Mhm.
And if he doesn't, even if he stays at what he is and he's 20, he's decent, we'll still get 5, 6, 7 million back from him. Send him
Mhm.
on to someone else. They're
Mhm.
low level, well, it's a high level club taking a gamble on a young player that to me it's very hard to pull off because
Mhm.
you're usually buying them very young. They have to go out on loan for a couple of years, and by the time they get in, you could have them on a deal for 3 or 4 years. So they're just these kind of low level gambles by a high level club, and the clubs really don't care if they pay off or not, as long as they get their money back. If Carvalho turns out to be brilliant, brilliant. You've got a 50, 60 million pound player. But if he doesn't, look, fine, we'll still get 9 million back from Southampton or something like that. So they're a hard one to call, whether because with those guys you really have to know what's going on behind the scenes, especially with that Carvalho stuff. Because if there is something else going on, then he
Mhm.
has no chance. Like if he's not at the club because of something that went down, then he won't ever get a shout. Or if it is proper clean slate, but that's the thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's been so much chat about it being, this and that. But you see him in the championship, and that's the reason everyone wanted to take a gamble on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just people want us to go out and buy these. That's why I never. It's like people say, why don't we go and get? Oh, Caicedo, we're bidding 100 million for him. Why didn't we go and get him when he was at what was it, Estudiantes or whatever, for 3.5? I know it wasn't Estudiantes before anyone says anything. For 3.5 million.
Mhm.
Why didn't we just do that? It's like, because that's not how you operate.
Right. Right.
You can't. You let them go to another club, and yeah, then he develops and then he shows you can. But there's no guarantee that if you brought him to Liverpool as an 18-year-old, that he would just gone boom. Now I'm Caicedo. Sometimes you just have to let them go to that. You know, that's why they want to buy up all these small clubs and have a multi-club model so they can do that and they can
Yeah.
keep them within their thing. So like City have just agreed a deal, well, not just, but to buy the kid from Girona, um,
Mhm.
whose name has just gone out of my head, the winger. Oh crap! Anyway, same name as a guy that used to play for West Ham, Savio,
Mhm.
from Girona, 30 million. Was one, the way Girona were really excellent in Spain this year, so
Mhm.
one of the best players. Do you think anybody else had a chance of buying him? No. If Girona had an independent club, we could have gone in and gone for a signature. Arsenal could have gone in for a signature. How difficult do you think that City negotiation was between the club that owns you wanting to buy one of your players? What are you going to do? Play hardball? So that's why they want to own all these small clubs so they can go send them from our club here to our club there, our club there, and then we can buy them without any competition.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It says very interesting because like yeah, it does. There was a tweet out there that says, "Does Fabio have a future at Liverpool on their slot next season?" He's had 9 goals and 2 assists for Hull since joining them on loan in January. There's also a report out there that apparently Bayern Munich is in pursuit of a certain Dutchman on our team by the name of Virgil van Dijk.
I heard it was Dortmund because Romano came out today and said total non-story.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I saw the Dortmund rumors. He said Virgil van Dijk is not talking to anybody. The Dortmund thing is complete nonsense.
This is on
So
yeah
that's
on I'm just
interesting.
going off of
Bayern are in there.
what this is
Okay.
off of the Anfield Watch has this as being what they're
Oh.
reporting or what they're saying that he's being linked with Bayern
Yeah.
Munich.
Well, negotiating a new contract at the moment, so it's in his interest for it to be in the paper that all these big clubs want him. So this is, as you know, this game is as old as the hills.
Yeah.
Like Darrell is saying, he's been offered a 2 year. He said that earlier on.
Yeah. I don't think that
sense,
Bruno G is going to go to Arsenal only because there's only so much you can do with these new rules, with the new rules of profitability and sustainability, profit and sustainability rules. And being that they have very, very heavily invested last year, and they would have to really, really work their books to be able to afford another 100 million plus signing on one player.
Exactly, man. They just dropped 100 million on Rice.
Yeah.
Like this is how the transfer market works now.
Yeah.
You know, as much as this man
might saying the same. Yeah, I see.
Arsenal or Newcastle can turn around to Arsenal and say, if you value Declan Rice at 100 million, don't even think about offering us less than 120 million for Bruno G. Because Bruno is
his release clause is 100 some odd million.
Oh, so is he on a release? Oh, well, see, there you go. Then, well, that's a different. Yeah. If he's got a release at 100, well, that ends that contract. Then that's his price.
That's his price. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's different. I didn't know he had a release because he wants out of there. He knows that like that club potentially will be, big and super. They're super rich and all that. But with the new things coming in, but he also knows that it's actually a few years off. It's not happening tomorrow. Like they're not in the Champions League.
It's not.
So
do you think that's the reason why Tonali isn't exactly sold on the project himself, or doesn't look like he's exactly sold?
That's probably a different story altogether. But I mean, like Bruno, I think he's around. Like he doesn't have an entire. So he's going to be look. You've got something going here, but yeah, I'm not sticking around. Like the guys that stayed at City, they knew it was going to be turbocharged. It was going to be happening when Aguero was there and Yaya. As soon as Aguero and Yaya were there, it was David Silva comes in. They're pretty much set, and that was when Mancini was there. Like they know now at Newcastle, because they can't go out and break the rules, that it's actually going to take longer. So if you're 26, yeah, it's great, but no, you want to go to Madrid now if Madrid wants you. Because you could be waiting 4 years to win a league title at Newcastle, even if they do manage to do it. And there's no guarantee they will. Like Man City aren't going away, Arsenal aren't going away, Man United aren't going away, Liverpool. It's these guys in 4 years' time. Chelsea could be back to where they were. 4 years is a very long time in football. So yeah, he's going. That's basically long and short. I think Bruno is getting out of Newcastle. That's why he signed that new deal. Is obviously was to get that release in there.
Yeah. There's a lot of movement. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because a lot of these players that the question I saw the question in here. Let me pull it up here. There's a question here. It says, question to 12th Man and Brian, how are Arsenal able to outspend us? Oh, I read that originally wrong. I thought you asked, are they able to outspend us? It's a matter of, I'll explain it, for instance. All right, so this is what this is saying, for instance. Arsenal have sailed close to financial restrictions this season. That means 2024. This is an article that I just pulled up. Having to bring in David Ray on loan and delay paying Brentford for him after a £200 million outlay in the summer of 2023. With a return to the Champions League, however, match days under the lights are stretching into the last 16, And with a huge new sponsorship for their training ground, the Gunners should have a solid starting budget before player sales. So primarily what they're trying to say is that they do have some room, but Miguel Arteta has a net spend of over 100 million for the last 2 seasons, and it's safe to expect the same again this season. Sales will boost that with Hale End graduates Nketiah and Nelson touted for the chopping blocks. That's pure profit. The biggest thing, and this is something I've been really like emphasizing more so than not, you're going to see a lot more teams focusing on the development of their. I mean, every team develops youth academy talent. I'm not trying to say they don't, but you're going to see a lot bigger focus, if not bringing some of these players into the fold a little bit more, so you can start to maybe even bring up their value, primarily because a youth academy player is straight profit. That's all profit. So what they're saying in this article, which is like pure profits on the books for those two, Aaron Ramsdale could raise another 40 million or so. So a 200 million pound summer is possible once more for a striker and 2 more squad players, perhaps they're saying in this summer window. But that's if they sell Nketiah. That's if they sell Nelson for these prices that would enable them to get those kinds of returns. Let's say hypothetically they sell Nketiah for, let's say they sell him for 60 million. And let's say they sell Nelson for 40 million. That's 100 million right there. That's profit that they'll be able to turn over for another deal. And that could be, in essence, you selling 2 to get 1 back.
But in fairness,
Bruno G. Go ahead.
But no, just in fairness, he is asking how they were able to outspend us. So as in up to this point, I think so. Yeah, I think maybe because he's saying since right up till this point, they have. And what you're saying is because they've done that already, they haven't done it that big,
right?
But that's how how they could continue to do it. But I think the question, whose question? I think it was Jared's. Sorry, it was Jared's question, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Jared's question. Rose and Jared asked that.
Yeah, I think it was, so. A lot of it's like Chelsea are able to do a lot of what they do, even though they're spending because they are actually bringing in money as well. The bringing in money isn't as noticed. And Arsenal, like 12 man is saying there, over that, they have been bringing in money.
Pops is giving clarity for that too. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at, they've stripped Kolasinac. I know this seems like it's going back, but over the last few years, Sanchez, Özil, Kolasinac, Mertesacker, a lot of these players, older players, they started off by doing that, by bringing down a huge wage bill.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got rid of a few players they didn't need, and then they were able to spend money. They haven't massively outspent us. They've just done it more recently. I don't think over Klopp's time and his time, Arsenal's time, they haven't massively outspent us. But they're within that, basically, the threshold level. They know what they're at. All these clubs now, they know they have to come in under the line. If you don't come in under the line, there's no hiding it. It's your contract. It's your books at the end of the season. So you come in under the line. They've always managed to do it. They've managed to do it and come in. So they're fine. They're fine. They can spend what they can spend. They're making it. They're getting rid of a player that you don't really notice. And it's 20 million and it's 100 grand a week off the books. And next thing you know, they can do a thing. Now, like with Barcelona, it's we're broke, but if we sell this youth player, we can sign a 70 million pound striker. It's how the hell does that work? Okay. Right, okay. But anyway, agree maybe the last 3 seasons they have, because they've had the money. they have been able to do it. If they can outspend us, it's because they're making more than us. Pretty much, But if we are under, if we're undercutting it,
Sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I just don't know.
No.
Obviously, we're
I was
not
just
spending
reading
as
this
much.
article. This article that I have in my bookmarks was written last month about, and it basically goes into, not into like real in-depth conversation about what every team, it goes into every team in the Prem, but it just says basically, barring epic collapse, which is what we're going through. But anyway, Liverpool will be back in the Champions League with a healthy Europa League run, selling extra tickets at the refurbished Anfield Road stand, and a couple of Taylor Swift concerts, all providing extra revenue. Every little bit helps.
Can we give
Last
that
term,
back?
Liverpool.
Can we give that money back?
Huh?
Can we? Is there any way that we can give the Taylor
Yeah.
Swift money back? Is that
No,
possible?
I'm sure.
Can we
I don't know.
protest?
Daryl. I think Daryl's a Swift. Isn't Daryl a Swiftie? I think Daryl's
Go
a Swiftie.
watch her in Manchester, Daryl. Come on, go watch her in Manchester.
I don't know. I don't know. Daryl is. I just.
Where was Spirit of Shankly? Where was the Spirit of Shankly for that? Why aren't we protesting outside Anfield for that? Stop the Swifties.
Yeah, stop the Swifties, exactly. But yeah, last term Liverpool had a net outlay, of just under 100 million pounds, which is unusually high in the last few years for them. But they could be likely to do the same once more with a new manager and wanting to put their own stamp on the squad. So they could be looking to spend heavily again this year. They're saying in this article, at least. And who knows? There could be some outgoing players that helps bring in some revenue. It could be a case with some of the promising players that we've seen develop within our own eyes that end up getting opportunities in other confines that bring in some of the net revenue that could produce a player or two for us. Britney over, I don't know about that one. Britney over Taylor Swift, I don't know about that one, but it's all good. That's what Stefano's saying, at least. But yeah, big up.
Well, I mean, in terms of the genre and the of which they both work within, yes, definitely. But it's not as if I'm out here repping for either, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just like, but if I had to go and watch one, if I had to go and watch one, I'm going to watch Britney, man. I'm going to watch Britney. Yeah, if I had to go and watch one of them, but I'm a '90s kid. I'm going to watch Britney, not this weirdo from a Christmas tree farm or something, I don't know, that breaks up with people just to write albums about it and then slander them for 4 years, and the press is like, okay, what is thank you, thanks.
Are we about to learn that Brian was one of Taylor's was one of Taylor's songs? Is that what we're saying?
It's a song, man. She wrote her entire first album about me, her first breakout. It's all about me. Yeah, sorry, Darryl.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, all those, yeah.
Okay.
But like Kyler was saying there earlier on about the people, this is what Chelsea kind of gone and broken that rule now for everybody, where the amortization thing, which I know it's a boring thing, but anybody that needs it explained again, it's like basically if you buy a player for 100 million quid and you put him on a 5-year deal, that goes on your books as 20 million every 5 years. Okay, so you're not spending 100 million this year, you're spending 20 million this year because he's on a 5-year deal. However, the opposite works in football accounting. So if you sell a player for 100 million pounds, you put all that 100 million on your books that season. Okay, so if you buy a player for 100 million and you put him on a 5-year deal, you've spent 20. If you sell a player for 100 million, your income is 100. So you are up 80 million that year, even though you've just sold a guy for 100 million and bought a guy for 100 million.
Mhm.
which technically you're even, but that's how football finance works.
Yeah.
You can say that year you are 80 million up. That's why Chelsea did a 10-year contracts for these guys. Now this 100 million Mudryk only costs 10 million. Every
Mhm.
year he only costs 10 million. That's nothing. UEFA stepped in now, and I think what have they done? It is it 5? They've made it 5 is the longest contract you can give someone now to
Yeah.
shut the loophole.
Yeah.
I think it's 5 because it ends this season. Yeah, after this, thanks to Chelsea, it's no more 8-year or 10-year deals. Not that anybody should be getting them, but yeah,
Well,
that's
you got some backers out there, by the way, Brian. A lot of Brittany over Taylor people out there in the chat. So, all right, enough said. Enough said. Okay. Um,
realism jarred. Our release clause is paid in full upfront. Yep, that's why it's a release clause.
yep.
In Spain, just for anyone who didn't know, if you have now we were talking about them earlier on. I know that the mega ones, right? But if you're actually releasing, if you're actually paying a release clause for a player in Spain, or it used to be in Europe,
Mhm.
I can't pay. I'm Liverpool, right? And I'm buying, say, James Rodriguez from Real Madrid because I've activated his £60 million release clause. I cannot pay that. He has to buy out his own contract. So what you do through lawyers technically is you give him 60 million quid and he goes to the Spanish Football Federation and lodges that £60 million with them and buys out his own contract. The player has to buy out his own contract. A buying club can't do it. So you literally give a player 60 million quid and they buy out their own contract.
Okay. Um,
I know, I thought that was interesting. Sorry.
it is very interesting. I see that apparently Reels and Jarrett thinks that you are a Spice Girl fan.
No,
So I asked
to
if
answer the
all, if
earlier one,
all the Spice Girls were single in
yeah.
their prime, if all the Spice Girls were single, which Spice Girl would you, which Spice Girl would you wife up? Which Spice Girl would you bring to the altar?
Okay, I
Brian?
got Healer asked her down, am I a Pogues, Westlife, or
That too.
U2 guy? Um,
I see
I
Nature Boy in the house too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't if I had to listen to any. Well, no, obviously the Pogues are legends, but you know they'd be in the back catalog, but they wouldn't be front of this. But obviously not. What were we on? What were we on to? What was it? Oh, which one are you going to wipe up with the Spice Girls? I'm
Yeah,
telling
which
you,
Spice
man.
Girl would you wife up? Which Spice? If
I'm
they're all
telling you, man.
single, if they're
I've
all
always
single,
been a
this
Mel
is
B
like
guy.
this is
I've
we used the
I've always been a
DeLorean
Mel
to go
B
back
guy.
in time. We're
I've
at the
always been
Spice
a Mel B
Girls.
guy.
Yeah,
I've always been a Mel B guy. I'm sorry.
Mel
I've
B.
always been a Mel B guy.
Nice.
I know, man. I've always when she had her hair like all bleached and straightened, my God, she was hot, man. Damn.
Oh wow, Mel B.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out
Yeah,
for Mel
yeah, yeah.
B.
Yeah, she was with Eddie Murphy, wasn't she? And Taylor Swift is yeah, I know. Sav, come on. If you want to meet in the local park and we can we
Oh,
can
I
we
can't
can
put that one
hash it
up.
out. You know, you can go full Tay Tay and I can go full Britney. I mean, if you want to do it that way, if that's how you want to go out, man. If that's how you want to go out, Sav.
Yeah, I know, Stefano. I'm not. I see what you're saying, but I'm not putting that one up there. I'm not posting that one. Oh man. I gotta ask the Nature Boy if he. I know he has a missus, but I mean, let's just say hypothetically, this is whatever year. What year were they out? Like 1995 or something? I don't know. It's 2000. I don't know when the Spice Girls were
Spice
around.
Girls are like 96. Well, yeah, 96, 90. I think yeah, so it's gotta be around 96, yeah.
96.
Definitely.
Okay.
It's gotta be. It's
Yeah, it's like I know it was like mid 90s, something around there.
yeah,
So
call it
1990. Yeah, we pop into DeLorean, we go back. Okay, Nature Boy's Mel
yeah.
B
So
too.
we agree. At
Okay,
least we agree on
Mel
one
B
thing.
getting
At
a
least
lot of
we agree.
love. That's
At
what's
least we
up.
agree on one thing, Mel B.
Yeah, there you go. There's something to agree on.
People
Okay,
that taste know. They know.
okay.
Eddie Murphy fought that all the way though, didn't he? He had that paternity
Oh,
thing going on. He was like,
that was
yeah,
an
no.
ugly, ugly, ugly fight. Yeah, yeah. Redbird says sporty spice. Okay. Stefano went with ginger for other reasons. Um, Scary Spice.
Scary,
Yep.
yeah, that's Mel B. Yeah,
That's
that's
Mel
Mel
B.
B. Yeah.
Yep, Mel B. Oh man, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I can also before we bounce out here, because we're going to be landing the plane here. We've hit our 90 minutes on the game here. Oh no, I'm not. No, big up to Taylor Swift. Big up to Taylor Swift. She's a billionaire, man. Like that girl is putting in work, and it has nothing to do with her looks.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't have anything to do with her looks.
I mean, she's putting it. She's
average, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying that she's a very, very talented female. But there was a mural that was put up of Klopp recently. And this is for the Scousers in the house, especially that have had the opportunity to even see it in person. But apparently it's got a advertiser name on the mural.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that yet or not?
Honestly, stop objectifying. Yeah, it really doesn't. Yeah.
What?
It really does. Well, I mean, Sav's just out here. I don't know. Sav's just out here going full feminist, Sav, the secret feminist, or maybe the not so secret feminist. I don't know.
But yeah, so there was let me see if I can show you this at least. Give me a second here. There's a mural of like Klopp. He's in like it looks like an orange like hoodie it's got his trainers on in black sweats. It's got the hat on. It's got a red background with a black a black outline and excuse me. And it's let's see, a Scary's Road, I think it might be on or something, but it's by the Deutsch Vermo Gessen Berental group, the Deutsch Beren my German is horrible. Proud personal partner since 2015. How do you feel about sponsors or advertising being on the murals? Is that not like, that's kind of cheapens it, doesn't it? Cheapens it for me. Kind of takes away the significance of it. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah, just quickly, Stefano. Yes, no, they Ash have one good song. It's called Uncle Pat, and that's like way, way back. And they had a second, but no, they're okay. But no, I wasn't that big into them. But they've got one really good song called Uncle Pat. And the other one, if it's current, like if you're doing a mural of like a historic kind of moment, say from a cup final or from a big win or something like that, and you're doing a mural of the guy, I would have no problem with you recreating the jersey with the sponsor that it was on at the time.
Right.
But if that was finished. But as a current one, that's what I'm saying. But as a current one, I think it's a little bit maybe, yeah, I don't know whether I'd be that offended, but like I'm
gonna pull it up here for you guys.
I mean, if it looks like I'm just haven't seen it. So like if it's just basically him drawn.
I'll bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah, like if it's an iconic photo and like the guys are wearing a branded top in that photo, I mean, I'm not going to take offense at someone not airbrushing out the logo. It's just, it is what it is. But if he's kind of painted the logo onto it in some way, then
no, I'll show you. Let me make this a little smaller here, actually. Let's see it.
Oh no!
All right.
No!
Well,
no,
I'll just go like that.
No,
so
no,
this is the mural that just.
Yeah,
and you see how it has like this advertising? It has this sponsor here.
No, that can fuck off.
This is what I'm talking about.
No, you can paint over that bit, mate. You can paint over that.
This is the new mural that is up of Jurgen Klopp. It's got this.
No, you're all right, mate. They're all right. I don't need that. I don't need
Yeah.
that. You don't need that at all.
I mean, like if you just had just the mural part, yeah, if you just had, the mural looks cool. Great photo, great picture. Everything else is like really, really cool. Well done. I don't know who the artist was, but really done well. But this is the part right here where my pointer's right here. That's all like apparently a partner of the
Yeah, it says,
club.
if I can read, it says
I just
professional
don't think that's
partners
necessary.
since 2015. I think is what it says. Like for instance,
Yeah.
he's wearing Nikes, right? He's wearing Nike runners, right? Or trainers, as you'd call them. I have no issue with them making them obviously Nikes because he's wearing Nikes, right? If the logo for that company, they're that whatever freaking
Right.
what professional partners, what even is, thanks for telling me what you do, lads. If their logo happened to be on the top that he was wearing, then that's fine.
Right. Right.
Make it part of the thing. But that little kind of thing at the end, it's just like way to cheapen something instantly, way to just ruin it. Like, just like I like murals where you
Yes,
walk around the corner
exactly.
and
Exactly.
some guy has just put up this thing. Like you go to Naples, those Maradona murals everywhere. Like you don't see them, and then it's not at the end like, no,
Mhm.
sponsored by Red Bull. Come on, no, like
Mhm.
we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care who fucking professional partner is. That just sounds like prostitution for
Yeah.
them or some professional partners. Come on, like that could be anything. These nameless, faceless corporations. Like what are you going to do? Oh, well, I
Right.
better
Yeah. I
Google them.
mean,
Who's looking at that mural and going, oh, I better look up who they are and see if I need their services
yeah.
somehow? No, come on. Yeah, I did, didn't
I
I,
mean,
Jared? I just gave Red
it's
Bull
a
a bloody
very
idea.
cheap way of being able to like get your likeness and connect it with the coach. I know
It's a,
that there is another mural of him with I'm not sure what his connection with that beer was, but there is a picture of him there's a mural of him with the beer. You know what I'm talking about? It's with the
no.
Erden
What?
Erdinger.
Oh, Erdinger. Oh, I'm sure he works for
Erdinger.
them.
Yes.
Like I was saying to Jared the other night, if you live in Germany, if you put on the TV in
Yeah.
Germany, within 5 minutes you'll
Mm-hmm.
probably see a Klopp Opel
Mm-hmm.
ad or Erdinger ad. He's on TV all the
Mm-hmm.
time. Like don't get it right. He'll do plenty of commercial work. He's not afraid to go. Yeah,
Yes. No. That
I'll
I understand and
goof.
agree with.
Yeah, I'll goof at the camera and go into a studio and do some lines and get paid 5 million quid from Opel. Of course, I
Yeah.
bloody will.
Exactly. Yeah. Why not? Why
Do you
not?
think I'm not going to do that? Like, and get free? Like, that's why he drives Opels. Like,
Right.
you don't
Right.
get Opels. Well, you used to get Opels over there. People in England would know them as Vauxhalls. They're normal, bog standard cars. He drives them
Yep.
around because he gets paid to bloody drive them around. He gets paid
No
about 10
doubt.
million quid a year, probably. And he
Big
does,
up on. Yep.
he does loads of TV punditry over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jared is saying he's all over. He literally is. He's like, the guy's a
But
media guy.
but Brian, in that mural, for instance, you just said he wears Adidas normally, or we're currently sponsored by Nike, but he still wears Adidas. I think he'll wear like the Nike gear, but he'll
Yeah.
still wear his Adidas shoes.
Yeah. I
In
just
that
thought in that mural, I thought he was wearing Nikes. Was he?
in that mural, it's a generic shoe. There's no swoosh. There's no three. There's no three bars.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing. So you don't see. You can't really definitively say, oh, it's this shoe or that shoe. But they made sure to make sure that you understood that it's this company that's this company that is the
I
proud
could have sworn
sponsor.
I saw a swoosh on that, but I just have it in my head that it was a Nike shoe. So that just shows you what advertising can do.
Yeah,
Or they
yeah.
assumed it was going to be Nike.
I had it. I blew it up, and you can't see any definitive.
I'm glad we're going back to Adidas, though. I don't know how people in chat feel like that. I'm so glad we're going back to Adidas. Like Adidas and Liverpool is just, that's how it's meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no swoosh. I have the blow up of it. There's no swoosh, but yeah. Big up, by the way, to Lee. joining us. He was late because he was watching our women beat Chelsea 4-3. So big up to the Lady Reds that have the ladies that have now just beaten Chelsea, who is a very, very good team. Very, very good team. One of the top teams in the, not only in the country, but in the world for women's football, for sure. So big up to them. All the same. All right. So we're gonna land the plane here, or at least park it and everything else. Best sportswear designers going. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. We'll see.
Well,
We'll see.
they've always had the class. It's like the it's just like the relationship. You know, it's like the best Liverpool teams and the best Liverpool kits were always Adidas. Or, you know, or well, there we had some Umbro back in the day. You know, but the sort of classic '80s and all that was Adidas. It was always Adidas. You know, it's like you go to the Anfield Rapids. We were never really a Nike club. It's only just till now, you know, and everyone just thought like, oh, we're back in the days of Nike and Adidas not wanting us because only Warrior and people like that, New Balance, wanted us. But Adidas, it's kind of like I think Adidas gets Liverpool and they just make good looking Liverpool stuff.
Say what you will. I understand that. But I will say this. From what it was so funny too, because see if I can find the tweet because I just passed it too. They had you remember do you remember the kit that they had? It was like the it was the that Liverpool Nike brought out. It was the what's the color? Like it's like an ivory or like an off white. It's like
what year is this? What are we talking? What kind of recent and new?
It was. I mean, they've only been with us last like 4 years, something like 5 years, right?
It's the Nike kit, yeah. Okay.
Nike kit, right? The Nike kit. That was the. It was like one of the best selling kits that they've had. Actually, it was so popular that it was like close to next to impossible to get practically. It was like the cream colored one, I guess you could call it.
Oh, that was a throwback to the Spice, but I think that was a throwback to the Cup final. Yeah, the '96 one. The Spice Boys era one. That's why that was so popular because it was a callback to an Adidas kit.
The tweet here from Liverpool News was, it got 228,000 views and like almost close to 7,000 likes. Can we all agree that this is the best Liverpool away shirt of all time? Do you think it was the best Liverpool away kit of all time?
No way. There's too many of them. That's a personal thing. They're football kits. It's like clothes.
You know? I mean, like
no. I mean, it's just clothes.
Yeah,
it's just clothes. Like some people like colors, and the kit can be whatever color. Like that. Like most people of a certain age would say the silver candy 88, 89.
Says no.
that's an iconic one. Like that one. That one's definitely a callback to that 96 one. So, but yeah, just all the most kind of iconic ones have always been the Adidas ones. But like back in the day, man, you could probably get one. Look, I remember probably paying £20 was the most anyone ever paid for a kit when I was young. Now they're like 200. But yeah, it's a different. But there's some of those yellow ones there. Yeah, it just depends. Well, like you ask someone, you basically, if you ask someone a blind one what the best one ever is, you can probably guess their age just by which kit they pick. Like you probably guess. Like I'd say the silver candies one. You go, oh well, you're obviously someone else said the yellow one. But yeah, look, it's kits. Like I said before, I don't wear colors, so. But I love that. Some of the Warrior ones. Everyone's
got their own preferences. I'm not doing that.
The New Balance ones were kind of okay, but like I said, it's really hard to make a bad Liverpool home kit. It's just all red. Keep it simple. But some of the Warrior
Mhm.
ones were great. Were they actually at least tried something new, did something different? They'll be looked back on. At the time,
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh, what's that?" But they'll actually be looked back on as in like that purple Warrior kit. People saw it like on the internet, just like on a blank screen. But then when they saw the lads actually wearing it, it was like, "Oh, that's actually a really nice kit." Which is what always happens. They get leaked online and they look odd or weird.
Right.
And it's not until you actually see
Right.
the lads wearing the kit that you know what it really looks like.
This is this is the kit that I was mentioning. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
this
that's
is
the
the kit I
one.
was.
That's the throwback to the 96 Spice Boys one. That's one of our
Mhm.
best ever combinations, that one. If
But
you look at
this is a
the,
really nice kit that they brought back. This is a rice. This
yeah,
is a really nice
yeah.
that kit was this kit was fire as Pops just said, and like it was possibly one of the best kits that Nike put out actually
It's
for
like when they
sure.
put in some work, that was what everyone was saying. Is like they didn't want Nike because Nike were just going to do what they did with everybody else, was to just put
Mhm.
out identical kits and just change the coloring, which was kind of what they were doing. And it was
Mhm.
just like, all we want is some, yeah, but and that was a good one because like literally it is a callback to that one that everybody loves. And it's a lot. There's why don't you bring back that one? They brought it back. That's all we want is a company that's going to do stuff like that. Pay attention to the fans.
Mhm.
You know, bring back the stuff. Don't come up with random crap that people don't like because that's a lovely kit. It
So
works.
you'd rather see them recycle than basically or
No, for these are third kits. This
repurpose
is what
basically.
no third kits. I'm not talking about like
Oh,
obviously.
third
Yeah,
kits.
you
Got
can
you.
do what
I
you
got
like with the third kit. That's what I'm saying. Use your when like you do a home and you do away. You keep
you.
that simple, but use your creativity when it comes to a third kit. Listen to the fans. What do you like? What do you want? That's your opportunity to go out and be creative, you know, and just actually show the fans that you're listening to them. Because it's a third
Hmm.
kit. How often do you actually use that third kit? Very, very rarely. But if you
Hmm.
put out a really nice one,
Which one did you want me to show? By the way, let me show one. The home kit. Okay, I'm
oh yeah,
listening.
look at the Marianne is saying. Look, I've heard people out there that have two kids, like they have two kids, two young boys, and
Oh,
every fucking
that's just
August, and they have to
yeah,
go and buy
that's
a
just
new thing.
absolutely
It's like
just yeah,
Jesus.
that's just ridiculous.
Like I could go to
Yeah.
Amsterdam for a week on what you've just spent to buy your two
Hmm. Hmm.
7-year olds kids
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
they're going to be too big for in 2 years or even maybe a year. It's
Hmm.
insanity, and they have to have them because everyone else. It's like, wow, man. Seriously, this is the price of getting into the game now. Wow, you know it's insane. You ask why there's no atmospheric games.
Yeah, no doubt. I think this is the third kit actually. Let me see. I'll show you this one too. Um, here. All right, so here is basically this is kind of like a throwback to the New Balance one, and this is what Redbird was asking. I think Redbird, tell me if I'm right or wrong on this one. If this is not it or not. If it isn't, then I'll bring it down. But this is what I saw on here. This is possibly the one. This is kind of like the concept of what they're going to do. It's going to have the stripes. Um, it's going to have these stripes, but it'll have like this kind of uh, inlay pattern within it. And supposedly that's the home kit. Um, this is reportedly going to be the away kit
Don't like it.
for next year. I don't. That's a so interesting color or interesting choice. And then this is possibly the third kit. Let me bring this up for you. This is reportedly the third kit is going to be this one.
It's the last year of Standard Charter as well. I think they're gone.
Are they good?
I think it's the end of them. Yeah.
Good. Do you know who's going to be the new sponsor?
No, that Nike kid isn't, or that Nike tick isn't going that way, is it?
That's the this is the reported Liverpool 2020. This according to Dave OC Cop. who is a someone that they use to or is relatively reliable when it comes to some of the leaks or some of the information he brings out.
Like that's the
Here is a
when I
better
was talking
picture.
about the silver, the candy, the one I was talking about, my favorite awake at sort of 87, 88, 88 silver
Mhm.
candy one. That's that color scheme. That's that
Mhm.
silver and red that they're going with there. I
This
wouldn't
one's
be at all
actually this
surprised
one.
if
This is
Nike
the
do
one
that.
that they do. This one's pretty dope, actually. I like the black one. Is pretty. That's pretty fire, actually. All black with the white,
Bit of
and then
turquoise
you can,
under the arm there.
yeah,
Um, I don't like
and
that.
then
I like you see. I like a collar. I know some people prefer round necks, but I like a collar on a shirt.
they went with three different collars on there too
Yeah,
for
you can see there's
each
a kind of
one.
half and half. There's a split. I don't like that. Whatever that is, Dominic is wearing on his neck.
Hmm.
I know they will look different. They're only renderings. They'll look different on the players, but I don't. I like I just like a collar on a shirt.
Hmm.
If you look at like
Honestly, says he's going broke. He's gonna get all three. Yeah, that's
I
the red
don't
one's
like
got that like
what's
kind of like I don't know, like
that nonsense on it. There's no need for
I don't know what that
nonsense.
stuff is, but it's kind of like that,
Yeah.
geometric style underlay under for it, and then um,
It's basically what it is. Is it's a load of marketing crap because they'll ask you what it is and they say, well, it's designed to represent the spirit of the dockers who worked in Liverpool in 1940 because the H represent. It's all like, oh my god, come on! It's always
yeah,
that.
that's funny you
It's
bring that
always
up.
that.
That's funny
It's
you bring that
always
up. What
something
was
like that.
let me see if I can find the kit that some people loved or hated. Let me see if I can find that kit real quick.
Yeah, Trigger is right, man. There's 300 quid there in kits easily, and if you want to get all your extra special official badges on it, and the state or not the
Oh, if you get a
stadium
name on the
version,
back, you get a name
and
on the back.
all that.
That's
But you know the
yeah,
new
that's
ones, like where you actually get
breaking your budget again.
yeah the stadium version, which is like the cheap one, even though it's a real one. But
Hmm.
then you can get the proper one, which gets you actually badges on the sleeve. Come on, man, you're rent like there's actually they've made you like even though you can buy a real one, well, you got the real one, but it's not the expensive real one. It's the cheap real one,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it's still costing you a bucket load of money. I don't like the way they do that at all. Just for a few badges on it, just sell one proper one, right? Just sell one proper
Hmm.
one, and that's it. That's it. None
Okay.
of this. Oh
Okay.
well, do you want the one with the badges on it to make it look like you're a real fan? It's like, oh come on, man. Or do you like
Hmm.
the one you can just buy at the stadium version? That's only £70. Yeah, like, run. Okay,
No,
we
I
could go
feel
on
you.
about
I
it all
feel you.
night,
I
but
understand.
yeah,
No, yeah, real
it's
quick. I'll just show these last two. Last two, and then we're out. Last two, then then we're out. Excuse me. Um, this is the one that you're referencing when you said like it represents this or that, blah blah blah. And this it's
oh, this is a
because
great kit. If you
this was
found the
supposed
right
to
one.
be an ode. This is supposed to be an
Oh
ode
no,
to
no, no,
the
not that.
era
No,
of of rock and roll in the Liverpool era or something like that.
I don't know what that is. That's not the kit I'm talking about. No, I was talking
Okay.
about the Spice Boys kit, like
Oh
the
well,
90s. Like
I'm just saying that
yeah.
I this kit was there was a
Oh,
one of
sorry.
those
Now I
like
know what you're saying. Sorry. Now I know what you're
yeah
saying. Yes, yes. With the why is it all squiggly? The marketing spiel
yeah
over it. Yes. Sorry. I
yeah
get you. Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah
That
it,
is
it
yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking
something to
about.
do with the yeah, it was like supposed to be some representation of like of that era of music that Liverpool introduced to the world or something along those lines.
Oh, because that's exactly
And
what you
then
think of when you look at that shirt, isn't it? That's like when you look at that shirt. That's exactly what you think. It makes you think. Yeah. Yeah. The music.
yeah,
That's what it's. Come on, lads.
Well,
Seriously.
at least that kit. I like that kit more than I like this
But
kit.
it has no collar.
This kit, I did not. I didn't. If they had done something better with, then I didn't like the checkers on this one that they did around the neck and on the sleeve there.
Oh, the McDonald's kit. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
disaster.
yeah. I didn't like. Let me see if I can pull this here. I didn't like this part right here and
It
that
was
part.
so
If
close.
they done some, maybe if they just went with the solid red there, I would have been cool with
Oh, it
it.
was so close. They had it
Yeah,
so close, and they had to overdo it and over design it, and they turned it
yeah,
into McDonald's kit. Yeah, they just had
yeah,
to leave the collars and the what would you call them, end bits of the where it
yeah.
ends. Just make them,
The sleeve ends.
yeah, make it just solid red, like you said. But yeah, that where they no, just no. It would have been so nice that because that's a classic combination, the yellow and red. I mean, that's why we use it because it's classic. It's just yellow. It looks so good, but they ruined it,
Yes,
man.
yes, yeah. I this one. Oh man, this
Would
one
you
was
be
like
seen dead wearing that? Like,
no.
seriously, would you walk around wearing that thing? No, you
That one was the
wouldn't.
ugly one. I actually did a concept kit of my own that utilized those colors, but it was more of a throwback concept that I did. I didn't utilize the checkers. The checkers were so ugly on that thing. I don't know.
Yeah, with that, you just need those thin red stripes going down. Even
Yeah,
though we
that's
don't
what
do
the
stripes,
one I
that's
made has
all you
that kind
need.
of thing. Yeah, has the
All you need.
red pinstripes. It was actually.
Yeah.
I'll have to. I'll wear it one time on
Oh,
one
it
of
really
the.
is. Yeah, Bernie, it does. It looks like like a McDonald's
Welcome to
uniform. It
Good
really
Burger. May
is.
I take your
Yeah,
order?
yeah, yeah. Welcome to Good Burger. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely funny. All right, guys. Checkers in general. Yeah. Well, you know what though? There was that checker, the black and white one, or not the black and white. It's like black and silver. I want to say. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yes,
Um,
I do. I know the one you mean. Yeah, that's a very recent one. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
recent.
yeah,
That
yeah, yeah,
one was
yeah, yeah.
decent. That one was a decent
Well,
representation of the
Ali,
checkers.
Ali looks good in black. I like. We don't have an all black. That's not really us.
Hmm.
I know like we look good. It's a good looking kit, but
Hmm.
it's not really traditionally Liverpool. Not against it,
Hmm.
but the keeper looks great in it. As an
Yeah.
outfield kit, I'm fine with it as the odd time as a third choice or something.
Hmm.
But we're red and then yellow or whatever. Anyway, but as a keeper kit,
Yeah. Yeah.
all black really looks good. Especially
Yeah.
if,
You
if it's a
definitely
good
do.
keeper, it really, really it's a good look for a
The
keeper.
keeper kits have
Black,
always no.
yeah.
Let's not get it twisted. Keeper kits are normally the better. I don't know why and how, but they end up
Recently,
sometimes being the better kit out of all of them.
recently, yeah, recently, you're
Yes,
not wrong, man. Recently, yes, I think. I think. Well,
this is
for
the
I
one I
don't
was talking about.
follow other
This one was
people's kids,
nice.
but
This one was a nice kit. That was
oh yeah,
Nike too.
okay, yeah,
That
that's
was the
yeah.
Nike
Well, I
one.
don't like a checker kind of. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, yeah, it's all right. It won't be up there. It's
I
not
think
offensive.
yeah, it's not offensive. You
No,
don't
I
go
don't like that checker.
no
No, I wouldn't
no.
be. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be mad about that. It's not like. Yeah, it's an all right kit. Yeah,
You don't like this one, TK?
no, it's
All
not
right,
up
all
there.
right. Checkers I know are difficult to get through sometimes for people, but
Yeah, can I go with some people? Can I ask a question? Because it seems to be that the shorthand has already been accepted, and I don't know if it's too early or too late. But with in terms of Arna Slot, we seem to be going with Slot. Is it too late to go with Arna in terms of? I mean, is he Slot
yeah,
now? Or is he Arna? Is it too? Because Slot, I don't like Slot. If I was Arna Slot, I'd be like, no, call me Arna. Don't call me Slot.
yeah, yeah.
Can we go with Arna or Arnie even? That we can start
Arnie.
making some cheap Schwarzenegger thumbnails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Arnie, because Slot is a bit, it's close to
It's
I
yeah.
don't know.
I know that Bayesian Pops
It's
has been definitely coining the since slot in Dutch means lock. He's been putting down the Arnie lock.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
mind the
Okay.
slot machine. Every time we're taking a gamble on the slot machine, I don't mind it. Playing the slots, I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work a get to the chopper kind of thing into a thumbnail.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, I can. I'll do it somehow.
Oh, this one was one last ode. One last ode. Let me get this one. If there's one last one, I'll share. Because my favorite is actually pretty much anyone that has the the candy sponsor on them are always some of my favorite ones. Um,
That's the away kit I'm talking about, the silver candy
yeah,
one.
yeah.
That's the first kit I
I have
ever
the
had
home
bought for
kit.
me.
Yeah, I have the home kit, and I have it in.
That
I
silver
actually
kit
have it
is way better.
in a long sleeve too, which is like very rare sometimes too to see the
Yeah,
long sleeve.
that was
Um,
the first kit I ever got bought for me ever, like a brand new kit. It
mhm,
was ever bought for me was that one, and I
mhm.
remember at the time being disappointed that it was the away kit and not the home kit because you kind of want it, but whatever. But as soon as
That's
I
a
got
good one,
like,
by the way, Bernadette. I'm sorry.
I
Yeah,
no, but looking back and I said like that
I
home
like
kit
it.
is okay, but that silver away kit is absolutely iconic, absolutely iconic. So
Yeah, I like it, Bernie. I like it a lot. I like the Terminator. Get to the chopper.
yeah, we're gonna get that
Um,
in. I'm telling you, man, we're gonna make it work somehow.
yeah, yeah. This is the last one because I know I'm way over time on the extra time here. But this kit was pretty dope. This is New Balance though. This is the New Balance kit. That's a pretty dope. That's a pretty dope kit.
Is that a keeper kit?
I don't think so because that's Virgil wearing it.
Oh, is it? I don't remember that kit. Was that the FIFA Club World Cup? Is it?
Yeah,
That's a special competition he's
that
got there.
yeah yeah
I don't remember that kit at all. Okay.
yeah. It's got the badge and everything. Yeah, that's a fire kit. Anyway, enough of the reminiscing. Yeah, I think it was a third kit. Yeah,
I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember that. Yeah, see that the third kit, unless something happens, rarely gets a run out. It's
yeah,
just for sales, I suppose. Yeah.
yeah.
But now that you can say it, even though we've only got like an inch of his chin to go off, but I can see that it
I'm
is
pretty sure it's
certainly Virgil.
Virgil because he's got a goatee,
Well, yeah, a tiny bit of
or it
a.
might even be Fab. It might even be Fabinho maybe, but it's definitely
No, not bony enough. Fabinho's face is bonier than that. That was
not
definitely
about
Verge.
well, yeah.
That was definitely Verge. I'd put money
They're the
on
only
it,
two.
definitely.
They're the only two that really rock the chin hair. So goatees. So anyway, we're gonna have so tomorrow. I hope you guys are all here tomorrow. Throwback Thursday. You know, it's gonna be definitely a fun little ride, rock and roll ride. Um, wait, was it 12's favorite? Is any which have the live burn on? Haha. My favorite kit actually is the black on black New Balance kit. Actually, that I don't even think that they rocked any. I think it was like a kit that it was created, but I never saw them wear it. So, but I like the black. I bought it. It was black on black New Balance kit. But yeah, that's not a new keeper's kit. The chin fluff. Everyone was loving it on that. Yeah, it was the
It's a 1920
2019
third.
2020
Okay.
third kit. TK says,
Okay.
big up,
Okay.
TK. Um, so yes, tomorrow, Brian, give a little bit more detail about tomorrow for the people before we head out. You don't mind?
Sure. Yeah. If anybody is up for a little nostalgia, a little bit of a throwback, a little bit of a distraction from what we're going through at the moment, which isn't amazing. We've come
Yeah.
up with a little bit of a new concept, which It's my baby. It's something that I thought would be a good idea, but uh, I didn't think we'd be able to do. But then it was like, well, we'll just give it a shot because this stuff's already out there. So
Mm-hmm.
we've been talking a lot about the older, the older players and stuff. So why not do watch-alongs of older games, historic games, go right back to when we were, these players that we've been talking about all the time, the Owens and the Fowlers. So we're trying to start up a new series of classic watch-alongs. It is what it is. We're going to play an old game from start to finish. Going to
Mm-hmm.
watch it. Everyone in
Mm-hmm.
the chat, everyone just chime in. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
reminisce. You're going to get your nostalgia buzz if you were there and watching it at the time. All the old sights and sounds from like late 2000s or early 2000s Sky Sports. And also, if you haven't seen some of these players actually play a game for 90 minutes, not just YouTube highlights. So we think it's going to be really good fun. I don't know. I'd like to watch it if someone else. So hopefully everyone else that's out there will enjoy it and come in and watch it. And yeah, just for one night, just go back in time for a little while. Just pretend you're 20 years younger. Who doesn't want to
Go
pretend they're
back in
20 years
time.
younger? Unless you're like 18, I suppose. But
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's gonna be a fun little ride, man. It's gonna be a fun
it's
little
not.
ride,
It's
and I hope that you
it's
guys are there with us.
nostalgia and football and and Michael Owen and and Stevie G and Jared Houllier. Why not? Who doesn't want to do that for a night? Forget about
Yep,
all
yep.
these.
You want to tell the guys, tell everyone. Yeah, you want to tell the guys that the
Oh,
the,
it's going to
the
be
gentlemen and ladies
Liverpool.
in.
Yeah, it's going to be Liverpool versus Man United. I'll just leave it at that. So we're
Mhm,
starting. Yeah, we're
mhm.
gonna start strong, but it's a classic game.
Starting tough.
Classic game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
starting tough. Yeah. The Red Devils think they got the best of us, so therefore we're gonna like reminisce. We're gonna reminisce. Will they reminisce over you? You know. There you go. Well,
Roll
that's a
up, and
little
watch your favorite players from the past.
exactly. So definitely join us tomorrow. It's going to be at 7 p.m. UK time. Is when we're going to start it off, and yeah, should be a lot of fun. And as always, like I say, very much important. Take care of yourselves. Continue to take care of yourselves so that you can have the ability to take care of your loved ones. Each one of you guys out there, we appreciate your patronage, appreciate the support, appreciate you guys sharing this, commenting, always, dropping the likes. Some people drop. I know a lot of. I sometimes, as soon as the broadcast starts, there's already like 10, 12, 15, whatever, how many likes there are in the chat before the show even starts, which is always great to see. Which means that you guys are just making sure that you don't forget and knowing how important it is. So I appreciate that. I'm not the kind of person that is out there that's going to kind of, hit the like button. No, if anything, I appreciate when you do hit the like, so, and I appreciate each and every one of you that, is trying to make the effort to remind people that liking, subscribing, sharing is important, because that's the way that we can grow this channel and continue to grow the movement, continue to grow this effort to say, you know what, win, lose, or draw, we're all Reds and we support each other. And that's what it basically comes down to. So I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, definitely. All right. And yeah, until then, up the Reds.